So I'm gonna take it out. Pause with the band, and I wish I would rip. Pause.
Yeah.
Please. Y'all keep talking it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still the Dame Dash Show.
Yeah.
We talking about independence right now. This one is called A Faithful Struggle. Yeah. That's Corey Burch on the drums. That's Brandon on the keyboard. My man Byron on the bass. Brandon Pierre on the vocals.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Here's a story of a boy who had major dreams,
Yeah.
being all he could be. And the army wanted to sing, telling him he'd be great. In spite of all the drama and in the midst of all the hate, one dream I'll never fulfill.
Say what?
Is being able to buy my mother that house up on a hill. But I gotta move forward, cause I know deep down inside,
Yeah.
my dream I can't abort.
Try to defer my dream, you would have to murder me. No man can take what God has planned so perfectly. But these bill collectors and these banks don't want to work with me. You banking on this long shot, I smile and tell them certainly. Internet's in love with me, radio never heard of me.
Yeah.
Fans rock my music down low, never purchasing. Labels want to sign me, laddie say they don't deserve me. I must fulfill a promise I made to the one who birthed me.
Back at the Dame Dash Show with Dame Dash. I feel like, you know, when you have a tattoo of your name on your arm,
Right.
when every time I come back, I go, this is the Dame Dash Show with
Right.
Dame Dash. That's how I feel. But, okay, so this is the part of the show where we bring two entrepreneurs on, and also we're going to talk to my main man, Dr. Boyce Watkins. I want to introduce Jessica and
Yes.
Torrance. So, Jessica, ladies first, what do you do?
Yes, so
What's your-
my name is Jessica Hope Morel Berryman, and of course, wherever I am, I always have to say Aggie Pride because, you know, it is definitely worldwide. But I'm the owner and operator of Lango Kids Research Triangle Park. We are a foreign language immersion program for children between the ages of 18 months and 11 years old, where we teach French, Mandarin, and Spanish to children. I primarily work with a lot of schools, but most recently been working with a lot of the housing authorities, taking a different approach, seeing a vision within my business. And I also have the opportunity to be a small business consultant for Edible Arrangements. The owners, they own a location in Raleigh and in Durham.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, you do?
You gave me like 25 verses.
I did. I did.
If I was saying give me a rap, that was a lot. You do a
Hey,
lot. All right.
I do a lot.
Because for time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gave me a lot. And what do you do? I'm sorry.
My name is Torrance Williams, and I am the National Director for the National Honor Society for Online Education. So we work to encourage people to eliminate barriers to education by being able to go to school online.
Got it. Got it. That's good. Okay, so questions?
Yes.
Can I help you with anything?
So I had the opportunity to kind of look at some of your foundations and groundwork that you've had. I have to say I took the time to look at the Breakfast Club interview because I thought it was hilarious. But one thing that you talked a lot about was being your own boss. And the way you presented it was hilarious. But how can we, as entrepreneurs, really validate and give kids the opportunity of seeing what entrepreneurship can do for you? I had a father who was an entrepreneur, so when I graduated in 2007, the economy was pretty bad. I knew what my other options were. But most students are taught to go to school, graduate from college, and get a job. So how can we mold these children to be entrepreneurs like yourself and myself as well?
I mean, I think leading by example is important. So if that's what the children are seeing, us physically being entrepreneurs, they won't know anything but that.
Absolutely.
You know, I think explaining exactly what it takes to be an entrepreneur, not only conceptually, but physically what it takes to be an entrepreneur day to day. It's a 24-hour grind. It's a fight. You know, it's not an easy thing, but I think freedom is priceless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, explaining it in a way that's tangible to a younger individual, understanding what it means and how hard that fight is, and learning to appreciate it.
Right.
And I think that's the best way to do it. And just advocating it, you know, positive reinforcement, making it like the cool thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think kids are very influenced by the attitude of everyone around them. So if everyone else is receptive to something, then they're going to be receptive to something.
Right.
To that, you know, what around them is receptive. So I think that's important as well.
Right.
So I think just living it and making it a positive thing, making it like there's no other choice,
Right.
and you know, just being positive about it. You know.
I just want to just piggyback on what you said. You said that being an entrepreneur is a 24-hour grind all the time. So how do we have that work-life balance when you have that 24-hour obligations?
Well, not to cut you up, let me bring in Dr. Watkins.
Oh, yeah.
You know, let's bring him in there. What's up, Dr. Watkins?
Not much, brother. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing very well. I enjoyed hearing about these two young people. It sounds like they're headed to the top. I respect that.
Yeah. Actually, this young brother was talking, and I wanted to bring Dr. Watkins into the conversation. So, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just asking about having the work-life balance, because being an entrepreneur with social media, having to answer emails, returning phone calls, just engaging your customers. But for those of us who have families, there's a balance. So how do you balance both of those, being a father and being present, as well as being an entrepreneur?
You know, it's a lifestyle. You know.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, because that's a question that I have to constantly deal with every single day, in terms of figuring out, you know, how to balance out my life and how to make sure things don't absorb me, because email can absorb you, Facebook can distract you,
Right.
Text messages, tweets, phone, all of that. There's so much to have to manage, and so what I tend to do is two things. Number one, I swirl together what I do with all the things that I love, and so because what I do is such a part of me, it's almost like a mother raising a child. Like, you don't really hear a mother saying, well, I'm only going to raise this baby from 9 to 5 and then I'm going to take the weekends off, right? She doesn't do that, right? Even when she's away from the baby, she's checking on the baby. You know, she's always the mother. That never really stops. So my opinion is that when you become an entrepreneur, when you create your business really is your baby, and it's okay to love it. Just make sure that you're doing something that you love. Make sure that you're not caught in a trap of just doing something just for the money, because then you have to, you know, sort of have that challenge where you're looking at work as something you don't enjoy anymore. Work does not have to be unenjoyable. You know, the second thing that I do is I try to incorporate my family into my business if they're qualified to do that. So I work with my daughter. My granddaughter has a job. You know, she's my baby. You know, I have a couple cousins. You know, so I don't hire everybody now. I don't bring everybody in the fold. But, you know, by kind of incorporating things, what it does is it just creates, as Dave mentioned, a lifestyle. And when you have a lifestyle, you're not sort of working and then living in separate spaces. You're just alive. You know, it's just your life. You know, almost like the last analogy I'll give on that is, think about Kool-Aid, right? You know, you have the sugar and then you have the Kool-Aid and the water. Now imagine somebody said, well, we're not going to mix them together. We want you to eat the powdered Kool-Aid, drink some water, and then take a spoonful of sugar. It's not the same, but when you mix it together, it can be incredibly sweet. So I say just make your life sweet, and don't be afraid to figure out how to do that.
Right.
Wonderful.
So we answered both of your questions.
Yes, thank you so much.
absolutely.
No problem.
Is it, no.
And let me talk to my man, Dr. Watkins, real quick.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Watkins.
Hey, what's up, brother?
You know, I wanted to just take this time to talk about our class that we have, where we actually talk about entrepreneurship and independence and you know, the social relevant things, and we take questions. And what's the website where we can go to get that?
At intelligentbossmoves.com. That's IBM, and it fits right into what Torrance was talking about online learning. Online learning is the trend. I mean, that's a great business model, a great way to spread education to the masses, a great way to get an education without going $80,000 in debt. So that's what we're doing online, and people love it.
Okay, so, you know, we're going to continue to talk, Dr. Watkins. I'll see you next week.